Foreigners who want to work legally in the U.S. will soon face a stricter review process. According to a memo released last week, immigration officials would be able to reject visa applications on the spot if there is missing or inadequate information. Previously, they had a chance to make fixes. Now, the changes could result in sudden visa denials and deportation. Anastasia Tonello is an immigration lawyer and president of the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Good to see you.
Hi.
This would affect your clients. And who exactly are these folks? These are skilled worker visas? Who is this?
So really, this affects American employers who want to hire the best person for a position. So the process to sponsor an employee that is not an American worker is actually a pretty intense process. So they make a filing with the Immigration Service, and now we have this potential that a case could be denied without a real review.
And just quickly, bookkeeping, we're talking about a couple 100,000 people on these visas?
Yes, all of that, yes.
And this would apply, these new policies, both to people renewing and people trying to come to the country?
Absolutely. So that's another big change. So earlier in October last year, they changed the deference memo, which basically says they don't have to give any deference to a previously approved application. So these are people who are already here.
Just because you got the first time doesn't mean we're going to give it to you a second time.
Exactly.
And so this new change, what exactly does it do and what's the impact?
So what it does is it gives immigration officers the authority on review of a petition for an immigration benefit. It can be employment, family-based. If they don't believe that it's approvable, they now have the authority to deny it without asking for information. And what's worrying about that is that in practice, the vast number of requests for additional information, which is what these are called, are actually ultimately approved because there could be some misunderstanding. There's something that the Immigration Service just didn't understand. So they're not necessarily based on fraud, which I think is what how they're touting this.
One way they positioned it is said, okay, we're not trying to catch typos here. If it's a small fix, we'll let you make that fix. But what we want to put an end to is people submitting basically placeholder applications, which are very incomplete, but I want to get in line, and then sometime down the road, I'll fill in the rest of the application. Is that a true thing to address?
So I've looked at some numbers of the number of cases that are filed and ultimately approved. And I mean, you're talking about a very small number that are actually denied on the basis of these reasons, which really leads me to believe that you're talking a small percentage of cases that this could actually be an issue. I think for the most part, it's giving officers authority to just deny things, to move things along with this agenda.
I think the answer is we won't know till this goes into effect in September, but they have some discretion, and I guess we're not really sure what impact this will have, like what kind of numbers we're talking about.
Exactly, and I think that's the worrying thing. I think for certain petitions, we saw about 50% of petitions had a request for evidence last year, and so if you're eliminating that, then you could look at a large increase of denials.
Last thing, you see this as part of a broader effort to change the way legal immigration works?
Absolutely. We're calling this the invisible wall. This is the brick by brick that is getting put up on legal immigration, people who are following the rules, standing in line, going through the processes it's designed.
Okay, Anastasia Tonello, thanks so much.
Thank you.